Oh, this was her idea, so that's why it
Ah,
happened.
there you
Yep.
go.
There you go. There you go.
Cool.
If she's on board and she's like, "All right, go for it," I'm like, "I'll give it a shot. I won't. I won't. I
There
won't."
you go.
Okay,
There you
this is what was cool about it. In the back, it's black,
go.
and you see the letter R for Rafaela.
For what?
Rafaela, her name.
Ah.
Yep.
How do you write that? I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Rafaela. Rafaela. Awesome.
Oh, Rafaela.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
get this. This is henna, but it's gonna be R for real estate. That
Cool, cool, cool. Yep. Both
works
are for
too.
real estate. There you
That
go.
works too.
So what do we got going today? What's everybody doing today? Why are you guys here today? Besides looking fabulous like Simon and John.
I don't think we've ever had Simon up on the stage. We gotta get you up on the stage, Simon.
Simon's a stud.
Simon is a stud.
Simon actually Simon actually works with us. I'm very proud of that.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome. I did not know that.
He's our secret weapon. Yeah.
Wow,
Yep. So props to him.
that's incredible. I'm happy for him. I'm happy to hear that you guys got a chance to do some business.
Yeah, yeah. He's brought some deals to us and we're working together, so everything's looking great.
Incredible.
Cam is here. Welcome, Cam. Good to see you, buddy. Haven't heard from you in a while. How's the SoCal real estate business going? uh, what's the plan for today? Why are you guys here? I mean, I love the fact that you guys join us every day. You missed us all the last few days. I've been making it to more local meetups. Good. That's good. Whatever is money making activity, that's what you need to be doing. Okay. Those are the big rocks that Michael was talking about.
I could
Mr.
hear
Matt
it.
Riley.
I could hear him from Franklin, Tennessee. I could hear him from Franklin, Tennessee. Uh,
Are you a jump, skip, and a hop away from him? Is that it?
that's what it is. I can hear him.
Good morning, Matt. How you doing, buddy? Is this
He's
an inside
calculating.
joke?
He's calculating.
Um, uh, good, good,
Good
good morning,
morning.
Bob. Good morning, everybody. Uh, some people you just can't leave alone for too long.
No.
Otherwise,
Oh,
they start doing some things.
I guess I'm
But
getting roasted. I don't know. I think it's gonna come off. I think it's gonna go bald. Get the Tate vibe going.
eyebrows or the whole thing,
I think we're gonna keep the eyebrows.
and then shave your head.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, man. Cool. I think it's cool.
The joys of being young.
That's what I did. I
Uh,
remember. I got a picture. I got a picture when I was growing up of I had blue hair that I painted for like a day. I dyed my hair blonde. So yeah, man, being young that's fun. And when you get older, your hair just falls out, so you wish you could do stuff like that.
No way.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. My kids come up to me all the time. They're like, "Yeah, I'm old. I'm young right now. This is what I got to be doing." And my wife and I are like, "Oh shit, here we go again." So my daughter
Wow.
is like, "I'm gonna tattoo the inside of my lip." I'm like,
Oh,
why? Because
okay.
it's just for me. Nobody will see it. There's nothing wrong with it. I will be the only one knowing it.
She's gonna
You
feel
know.
that. That tattoo is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she wants to do it. Let's go.
You gave her
That's how
the
my
thumbs
mom
up.
was.
You give her
That's
the
how my
thumbs up
mom was.
off.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I have. My wife is adamantly against it. Yeah,
How old is she? Your daughter?
18.
Yeah, so there's like you won't you can't say no, otherwise
Can't do nothing.
you
Yeah,
makes it worse when you say no.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. I keep telling my wife, stop fighting this. It's a losing battle. Pick your battles and pick the ones that really matter. This one, not really. My son is like, I want to get earrings and pierce my nose. I was like, um,
Hmm.
where did we go wrong exactly?
It's that California lifestyle, man.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
telling you. I'm
I don't
It's
know.
telling
that
you.
California life.
The ear piercing, just a little stud, maybe. The nose, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I was
yeah.
inspired, man. I saw Matt. After I saw Matt, I was like, all right. One of my heroes has that. So let's see.
One of my heroes. I remember my mom didn't care about my tattoos or ears pierced, nothing. I remember one time I showed up uh, to a baseball practice, and my dad was the coach when I was like, I don't even know how old I was, 15, not even 15. I was 14, however old, and he saw my earrings for the first time. And the look of disappointment, like it was one of those like just just silent. He didn't even really say anything. He just kind of looked at it and just shook his head, and I just knew at that moment. Uh, so never was I never got the firm approval from him for that type of stuff.
That's awesome. Oh, that's
But that,
funny. So, what do you got
well,
planned for today, Matt?
I just locked up a Dallas lease option last night, and I believe I already got it assigned by this morning. So waiting on signatures for that.
Woohoo!
Boom.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Where are you
and
finding your buyers from?
24. That's so I just started this lease option adventure here in the last 30
Right?
or so days. I have 5 under contract right now. So finding them and putting them under contract, not that big of a deal. Finding the buyers is where, so
Yep.
partnered with leasingtobuy.com, which is a Texas-based company. All they do is lease options. So right now they have over,
Oh,
I think, 20 pages of lease option properties on their website. So they have a big database of tenant buyers, and then we just do the traditional stuff. They put signs around the property, so leasing to buy signs with the phone number and contact information, directional signs around the neighborhood. We do the Facebook Marketplace posts. I'm working on that myself as well, and going kind of the traditional measures of that MLS. So either for sale or for sale or for rent MLS listings as well. So been decent. So I was talking to Drew.biz and he was asking me like how many I get under contract per week. And I was like, the jury's still out. I'm still too new to it to have like the proper data on it. But again, 30 days, roughly 5 contracts. So probably one a week, I would imagine at least. Because I'm debating what's worth, how much money do I want to put into like the marketing on each property.
hmm.
I also had a
Very
conversation
cool.
with Mr. Drew.biz. We are upping the ad spend from $60 a day to $120 a day, ladies and
Ooh,
gentlemen.
doubling down. Nice.
Doubling down. So I'm hoping that we're making the right decision. Just like you said yesterday, um, this is the time where people take their foot off the gas. We can go double down. Hopefully,
There you
something
go.
comes from this. It is a risk, to be doubling down during this time, but we're taking the risk.
The best time to
So,
do it is when you have it as well. Like you get a big check, you get a big like that's when you do it instead of sitting. You're gonna get that big check, sit on it for a little bit, spend it doing
yep.
stupid stuff, and then when that pile gets smaller and smaller, you're like, oh shit, now I'm gonna double down. And then now you're taking the last of it to double down, and now you're like freaking out if it doesn't work. Where the best time to do it is right when you get the money. Let's pull it right out of the pile. Let's double down with that money. Now whatever's left over, I can spend. I can do whatever I want with. But that's the best time to do it while you just got paid.
Yep. Yep. I completely agree. And besides, when you sit on it and wait, as the money shrinks, the tendency to pull the trigger to double down shrinks as well. You're like, I don't know when the next big check is coming. I don't know if this is going to work. Doubts creep up.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, no,
We have
100%.
And then you likely won't double down then at that point.
Yep.
we have a Portuguese saying for that. Um, what would I say?
We have a Portuguese saying for
Yeah,
that.
we we
Just do it. But I'm not. This is something that I've really started to internalize lately. It's like I really don't have that same level of fear that I think a lot of people do. I really don't. Like I'm cool to take risk. I'm comfortable to take risk. I think I'm a little too comfortable to take risk. But I take the risk, man. I do.
that's a decent budget though. That's $3,600 a month essentially if you're doing 120 a day.
Well, are you doing it just for the remainder of December, or are you moving forward? Is that going to be your budget?
That's probably going to be the budget moving forward. I'm assuming that we're going to be closing out on deals. We've got multiple deals in the pipeline right now. So once they close out, the plan is just reinvest, 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 and scale. That's it. One thing that I took away from my time in Phoenix with Brent, he said this probably every 10 minutes. All roads lead to PPC. All roads lead to PPC. So if you're not advertising in front of people on platforms like Google and Facebook, you need to be, because that's where people making multiple six figures a month are advertising. He was telling me about a guy who's making $1 million a month in Phoenix alone using PPC marketing. One market. The money's out there, guys. You just got to know how to get it. You got to be in front of the right people on the right platform. And I do believe that SMS is good. Depends on the market, because a lot of these markets like Phoenix, way oversaturated. I sent a text campaign out in Phoenix, pretty much got no response, no positive response, because everybody's blasting Phoenix. But those same people that need to sell in Phoenix will be on Facebook, will be on Google, and if you can get in front of them at the right time, it's a different approach. It's not you approaching them, it's them approaching you. So I can't wait to give that a shot. I think we're going to run some PPC campaigns in multiple different markets after we get a couple of these deals closed and figure out, hey, where is the best place to invest our marketing dollars?
Very
Mr.
nice.
Dan Fazio joining us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, moving federal as usual.
Good
As
morning,
usual.
Dan.
Morning, guys.
What's going on, brother?
It's a busy day ahead. Busy day ahead.
That's a good thing.
Of course it is.
What do you
Of course
got
it
for
is.
us today?
What do I have for you guys today?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything so far. John had something for us. I wasn't aware on, but it's interesting, man. These two guys up here, Matt and John, they're the most interesting people to be a business coach for. Let me tell you that.
Oh,
I've done probably about zero work for for either of these guys. They continue to make their decisions. But I don't know any of the
Yeah,
decisions that are made.
I make my own decisions. Correct.
There you go.
ooh!
Correct.
You heard what he said. You heard what he said. I'll double down on that. I make my own decisions as well. I do. I do.
Very correct.
I like that. He stood on business on that one. Matt stood on business on that one. Don't play with that man. Don't play with that man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, talk to us. What's going on within your businesses? We're coming close here to the end of Q4. We're going to start a new quarter. The new year is about to start. I've got a property going up today on the MLS. My foot's not coming off the gas. I'm just saying that my foot not taking my foot off the gas. Who's taking their foot off the gas? Who's relaxing
Did you
this
find out whose
December?
Vegas property that was?
I did not, and I don't. I only have like two, three people, that it could be, and it wasn't them. So I don't know who it was, and I kind of I gotta figure something out about the whole process, but I'll figure it out. I just got something in me
Oh,
that figures it out.
It's
Got a dog.
strange behavior that somebody would list it without putting their something to so you would know.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it's set up, it could have been like somebody else that wasn't like through me, and they just selected my name. That's happened before too, so I'm not sure, but we will see. Simon
Simon has a
says,
question for you, Dan.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I mean
answering.
that really depends on the exit strategy or what you're selling, right? Like that's not really determined by the marketing. It could be, depending on what your consumer to product is, but in wholesaling, the situation is, you're talking about, what you're going to do with the property. So, I
Mhm.
mean, are you wholesaling it for cash? Are you doing innovation on it? Are you flipping it? Are you keeping it? Like, so that's all dependent on what the cycle of the money taken versus the money reinvested is going to be. So, I mean, that's all dependent on when you're making your money. Wholesaling is not really determined. It's like the speed is not really going to be determined in terms of like marketing. I mean, it can be a little bit, but I will say the only thing that's like quicker in terms of PPC is just you're going to get leads. You're going to get like people that are ready to sell right now faster. So it's like you don't have to have a build up time. There's not a lot of build up time. The only build up time is if you're doing SEO and if you're trying to do you know more and more marketing in terms of like running ads, then you're going to have a build up in terms of like the audience you're marketing to get that correct. But once you get your audience correct, and the audience comes in, like it's not like cold calling where you kind of have to like break those people down. It's not like direct to mail where you kind of have to like ship out a bunch of letters and wait for them to one day get back to you. It's like you throw an ad out there, and basically they see the ad and it's like they want to sell right now.
Does that answer your question, Simon?
boom.
Man, it's quiet today.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if one of us doesn't bring a topic, we're pretty much dead.
Whoa. Don't say that now, Bob.
Uh,
Whoa, whoa.
I
Has
Well,
anybody
mean,
got any deals they're working on? Any questions about deals they're working on? I
I'll
mean, the
share a
fact that after
situation.
all this time, we have to ask the audience if they got deals going on.
I'll share a situation I'm going through right now. One of the properties that we have a inspection for today under contract is without utilities. So I'm sending a text message on the side to the seller to get the utilities turned back on so we can do that inspection, make sure everything is as it seems to be.
is it their duty or obligation to have the utilities on when they're selling?
Um, I don't think so because it's not in the contract, but we need those utilities on.
So why should he pay it if it's not his obligation?
Because he wants to sell.
There you go. It's a negotiation, right?
That's right.
But in
I have
general, utilities do need to be left on by the seller.
I think that'd be a good thing to add to the agreement as well, that the seller agrees to continue to pay for utilities. Just stuff like that, just to have added protection in situations like this. But the seller has been super cooperative and hasn't given us any trouble. They've already extended. So now here's the situation. This is innovation. Full transparency, guys. We've negotiated with the seller. We try to get them down to make more of a spread on this deal. It's just simply not happening. Um, this innovation is looking paper thin, and my boy Savion and I were having a discussion about this yesterday, and I think after giving it a little bit more thought, it might make sense to go back and tell the seller, hey, look, um, I know we extended it for this date, which is the end of February. I just wanted to run this by you. If potentially you might be open to a faster closing at a reduced price. Either way, we're gonna close, but it's something to negotiate, right? But you can't just come to the seller and ask for a price reduction for nothing. You know, it's not like they um, withheld information about the condition of the property or anything like that because they didn't. But at the same time, we're trying to negotiate to see, is there any more money we can make off the deal?
Cool.
Yeah, being fully transparent. That utility situation, yeah, you should definitely consider adding it into your agreement. At least language that states that they are responsible for having utilities on at the time of inspection. They don't need to have it on for 100 days during the contract, but at least on and active during the inspection. I had one just a little bit ago where utilities were off and then they didn't want to turn them on, and then we had to have that conversation, and then they did math on how much it would cost them to turn the utilities on for the day of inspection, and it was like not even $9. I mean, it was some crazy little number, and they took the time to break it all down and asked if we would be willing to pay that amount in order to get the utilities turned back on. And this wasn't like like a super distress scenario where they were already $50,000 behind and all the whole deal. So some sellers are just like that, where they just try to find every penny that they can save in a transaction. So
Yep. But hey, these are the types of sellers that we're working with, right? These people are in distressed
So,
situations.
yeah. And, I don't know if you guys are still using a simple two-page, one-page contract or not, but we don't. Um, our contracts are anywhere between four, depending on the type of deal. Even just a straight cash deal is a minimum of 4 pages, sometimes 6 to 7 pages long. And this is exactly why, because there are just so many little points. And people say, "Oh, just a 1 or 2 pager is fine." The seller doesn't want to be bothered by reading about this. Bullshit. You know, um, you want the seller to be aware of every single fact so that you don't set yourselves up for problems down the line. So I think a solid contract is worth its weight in gold for sure. You know,
you
I'd
mean
rather
I should
use a 4 to 7 page contract even for a cash deal than a two-pager.
you mean I shouldn't have Chat GPT write me up a one-page contract when I'm
No, I think
purchasing?
you should. I
No,
think
right.
you should.
Right, yeah, like, I should for sure. Yeah, it's worked this far. Like
There you
especially on the landlord side, like I said, you can always tell by landlords. You can always tell a landlord's experience by looking at their contracts and their lease agreements. You can tell, are they brand new or have they been in the game for a while by just looking at their lease agreements and seeing all of those additions that they've added to that lease agreement over the years. Because when you first start, same with anything else. I don't own any properties. I just need a quick lease agreement to get this tenant to sign. So I'm gonna just go look something up and it's gonna be a quick
Yeah.
two-page lease agreement. Cool, sign it. Maybe that tenant goes and does their 12, 24, 36 months, nothing happens. Cool, man. This is super simple. I'll just keep using this two-pager. And then all of a sudden you get that one tenant that pushes that boundary and does something, and you go to lean on that agreement to get them out of your unit, and you look and you're like, oh my god, this thing doesn't cover anything. I can't get
Anything.
them on nothing. So
Right.
then you got to go through the eviction process, and then you're like, I'm adding that next time for sure, so that can never happen. And then you just, things happen all the time, and you just continuously add it. And so same with purchase contracts. You might think that what you're using now, if you got one of these simple 1 or 2 pagers, is going to fit the bill for everything until something happens. And then when
Yeah.
you go to lean on that contract, there's nothing in it that states any protections for whatever's happening. So it works until it doesn't work.
It's just like title insurance. You don't
Mhm.
need it, you don't need it, you pay for it, and then all of a sudden when you need it and it's there, Man, that thing covers the entire career of your real estate.
The people
You
that I
know?
see, like when it comes to like cutting corners, and
Yeah.
they'll title insurance is one of those things that like they'll be like, well, do I really need it? Or, can I get it cheaper somewhere? Like, and I'm like, of all things, it's like, when you're buying a house, like, sure, could you get maybe a cheaper attorney or cheaper, but like a home inspection? They're like, I got a guy that'll do it for $100. I'm like, yeah, then you're going to get $100 home inspection on this
Right.
$500,000 house. Like, some things you just don't cut corners on.
I agree. I agree. And the other factor is when you use a solid contract, it makes you be the professional, you know?
Right.
You're the professional. You've thought of everything, all situations, all scenarios. You have experience. That's why you're bringing such a contract with you. It's not
Well,
that,
yeah.
you know?
And knowing the contracts that you're sending out too, like I
Oh,
told you
yeah.
guys, I had to do the 2 hour Zoom call with a sub two deal like 2 months ago, I think it was. And they were like, hey, thanks for the agreement. Do you have time to go over it? And so I had to do a conference call between me, the listing agent, and the seller on a cameraed Zoom call, screen sharing my purchase agreement. And I had to go through it line item by line item for two
Hmm.
hours. I had to read the line and then in my own language decipher what that actual line item meant. And when they said it, I had sent it out so many times. I knew everything on there, but it was a long time since I actually like went through. And so as I was doing it, like I didn't prepare for the call at all. I just hopped on, and that first one, I was already
Yeah.
thinking ahead as I was reading that first one. I was thinking
Yeah.
already about the other ones. And I was like, "Fuck, dude! I hopefully I, like." And then I was like, hopefully there's no surprises in here that I don't remember, and thankfully we went through every single one and there wasn't. But knowing what your contracts are that you're actually sending out, can you accurately describe what's in your contracts? If someone were to ask you, hey, section 13 second line, this sentence right here, what is that exactly? What do you mean by that? Or what's this? Can you go through there and accurately understand what you're sending out to people, what you're asking of them? Because
Right.
that's
Yeah.
important too.
If you don't, I have one word for you. TC. You better
Yeah.
have a solid TC
Yep.
that knows the paperwork and they can explain it to them.
Yeah, let the TC be the buffer in that scenario, because I don't ever
Yep.
want to do that again. I don't. That's why I would pay someone to do that.
Yeah.
Would you say that that was a waste of your time, Matt?
I would say we ended up locking the deal up and dispoed it, and I made 9 grand on it or whatever I made. So it was a good use of my time. I don't know actually.
Maybe not the
I
best
I
use of your
I
time.
correct. It ended up being fine, and it put the seller at peace of mind being able to go through it with me, and go have that much time. But could I have plugged somebody in to do that same thing? 100%.
Do you do deals in Tennessee right now, Matt?
I just
Dalton wants to
started,
know.
literally yesterday, I just started sending out outreach for Tennessee. So I'm doing Williamson County, Davidson County, pretty much like the top 3 counties in Tennessee. Tennessee
Yep.
is tricky. Similar to Texas prior to this, like the lease option stuff, I was only doing it in Texas because there's some huge markets in Texas, of course.
Right.
And then I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I want to start doing stuff in Tennessee. Like I want to, it's in my backyard. I want to, and then looking at the population, you got Williamson County where I'm at, and then you got Davidson County, which is Nashville, and then
Hmm.
you got a couple like Knoxville, and then once you get
Right.
outside those, like the county populations are like 20,000,
Right.
18,000.
Yeah.
So it gets tricky. Even like the bigger counties, like Chattanooga's or Knoxville. I think it's Chattanooga. The population of Chattanooga is like 185,000, and the county it sits in is like 300,000. So just Chattanooga alone makes up over 50% of the population. So
Two
when I'm
thirds. Yeah.
doing outreach, yeah, 2/3. So when I'm doing outreach to those counties, anything outside of Chattanooga, they might be like, yeah, and then I go look, and it's a 1,100, population in that city. So Tennessee's tough like that, similar to Texas too. I mean, Texas has those huge markets, and then all of a sudden you get something, and it's in the middle of a desert in nowhere, Texas. So I'm starting as of yesterday,
Let's go.
and the
So there
first
you go,
couple that
Dalton.
responded were Memphis,
Where's your deal at, Dalton?
Jackson, Tennessee. What's that? Let me see.
Oh, I have a
Jackson,
great
Tennessee
idea.
is a nice little city. If you're doing business in Tennessee, Matt, Jackson is a pretty decent one. There aren't too many cash buyers necessarily, but the ones that are there, they're solid.
No, it's outside Memphis. It's actually between. It's actually in between me and Memphis,
Yeah.
almost halfway point. So it's probably about an hour, hour and a half for me.
Are you hitting Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis was part of that list because Memphis is Shelby County. So I would say out of all the outreach, I'm sending only about 100, 120 messages a day through a drip on the CRM just to test the waters. And out of all the responses, I would say 80% back yesterday were Memphis. I sent out price sheets on those, and so hopefully that comes, But yeah, Memphis was pretty much the top one.
Be careful with Memphis.
Oh, oh, I know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why is that, Bob?
I was literally just talking about it this morning.
Yeah, Memphis, you got to know the locations in Memphis. I mean, literally one street from you and the whole scenario changes.
I would
You
say
got
Memphis is very similar to like Indianapolis in that
Yeah,
aspect of
yeah,
like the gold rush that took place in Indy
yep.
and all of the out of state investors that were like again when we were talking about the heat map for PropStream, right? Or like as an investor that doesn't live in Indianapolis or anywhere near it, you're just hearing Indianapolis, top 5 market right now, huge development. This you're just hearing Indianapolis. Indianapolis, I think, has a 2 million population or a 1 like it's a huge city, it's a huge
Yeah.
market. So when you're out and you're not from there and you just hear Indy, you're just throwing money at Indy and you don't understand that there's a northeast, southwest, and there are parts of Indy you do not want to. I don't care what kind of gold rush is taking place, you don't want to be there. And Memphis is yeah. We were just talking about this morning where Memphis. I think it's going to be tricky because Middle Tennessee and Western Tennessee have seen such ridiculous growth over the last 5 to 10 years, and I
Mm,
feel like Memphis like is raising its hand at the same time and go, oh, that's us too, and it's like, hold on, Memphis, not
yeah.
you. Hold on, you are. It's tricky because we were talking about it. Like Memphis has like Elvis Presley, Graceland, and they have like
Yeah.
Motown, and they have Music Row, and they have all of like the history of music there, and that's a
Hmm.
big tourist attraction. If that goes away for whatever reason, Memphis is not in a good place. Like that's and you have like if you search Memphis videos on YouTube, like tourist type videos where people go there and film it and talk about it, the comment sections are just blown up by you better be careful, you better lock your doors when you go to Memphis, you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna get this. So it just has a very negative connotation and that makes tourists not want to go there and it's a huge tourist location. You have Germantown right next to Memphis, which is in the
Mm,
same zip code. And
hmm.
Germantown is a very, very high end
Yep.
area,
Yep. It's
and
beautiful.
I can't imagine what that I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
very tricky market for sure.
Yeah. You better have some really solid boots on the ground over there. I have an excellent realtor over there, so she's the one who guides me all the time over there.
Yeah, that's definitely a market where you would want a realtor
Yep.
to because again, there's nice parts of Memphis as well where you get like the 5, 6, $700,000 nice properties that are sitting in nice historic areas of Memphis, and
Hmm.
then you easily have the $60,000 house part of Memphis that is just cars parked on the grass and it's a war zone essentially. So it's tough.
Yeah.
I never understood that dynamic of how half of a big city like that could be like that, and then the other half is like beautiful, historic, 5, 6, 700. Like, how do those residents want to even be that close? I never understood that dynamic,
Yeah.
and I don't see it getting any better, unfortunately.
Um, sorry, Mike. He was on here and he
Yeah,
left.
all good.
Um, Armin asks, Mr. Rinse and Repeat, what CRM do you use?
Oh, interesting question. I wonder what his answer is going to be.
Right now, I'm using REI Reply in Go High Level, so we're using it. It just depends on what outreach we're doing or what the actual process is. Um,
Cool, cool.
I just got rid of my real estate agent CRM, so I'm officially have shedded all of my real estate agent resources at this point. I
No
got my
MLS
final.
access?
Pretty much, yeah. I haven't used my MLS access in Illinois in a while, but I just got my final notice from them saying, "Hey, this is your final notice to pay your dues, otherwise." So
Adios.
I I just deleted that message. I didn't even I don't even see like right now. I'm still a union member. I still pay my annual dues for the union just to I don't even know why, just out of sentiment. Um,
Wow.
but that's the one thing. Like when that came in, I'm like, not even for sentiment, not even just to hold it just in case or whatever the case. No, I have no.
What is the benefit of being in the union, Matt?
It's just a sentiment. I don't know. It's just I've worked there for however long. My dad still works there. My grandpa worked there. It's just a family business. It's just nice to I don't know hold my. I don't want. I feel weird letting my card go.
He's a
It's not
union
like a
man.
thing. It's not like a thing that I think I'll ever go back or like I'm gonna hold this just in case things go really bad. I have a. It's just like I said. It's more like a sentiment. I want to let it go. I want to get my new card every single year, and like that's the big thing is like my dad's been in the union for like 40 years, so he can show like he has his card from every single year when they renew. So I don't know, it's weird. I just want to do that.
You're
That's
just
awesome.
a blue-collared multimillionaire, that's all.
That's all.
Yeah, it's weird. You go to the Lyric Opera in Chicago, and my grandpa signed his name on the wall up on the what's called the fly floor, which is like 9 floors up, and it's in chalk, and it's from
Oh, wow.
1956. You can see his
Wow.
name written up there. So
Wow.
again, it's more like a sentiment thing. But yeah, the real estate agent thing, CRM is gone. That was like $600 a month. No reason for that. And then the license will be gone. And I was talking about my wife maybe getting my license here, but I really have no urge or no want or nothing for that.
Mm.
But we'll see. Only time will tell.
All right. It's 9:11 my time, 12:11 Eastern time, 11:11 Matt time. I got to bounce. I don't know about you guys, but it was a pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Thank you,
Peace.
Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, please invite somebody you think would benefit from being in proximity with us. Send them that link, reirev.com. Love you. Bye.